A lot of us say affirmations and do shadow work and work with crystals to try to shift our mindsets to become more abundant, more positive, more loving, but somehow we still end up feeling stuck. Have you ever been waiting for a manifestation to materialize or a prayer to be answered or waiting for a blessing to come to you, and you're saying your affirmations and you're doing the whole thing, you manifest with the new moon and you're just thinking, ugh, this is not working. Side note, it is working. But I also think that there is a better, more effective way to go about shifting your mindset and attracting things to you. I do believe that repetition is a very crucial part of learning how to be more abundant, more positive, more kind, more caring. But you have to do more than just repeat. And by more, I don't mean a larger quantity of work. I mean more effective work. It occurred to me the other day that in order to cultivate a shift in your mindset, you have to study it. Hi, my name is Amberjay, and I'm a writer and astrologer here in Los Angeles, California. And today I want to tell you about how you can shift your mindset in a deeper, more profound way that goes beyond just repeating your affirmations. So this thought occurred to me because right now I'm learning another language. And I do a lot of daily work around learning this language. I'm learning Korean. I do a lot of exercises, I do a lot of practices, a lot of listening comprehension to help me learn. And so at the end of the day, it totals up to be like an hour of work collectively. I've been learning Korean for about 2 months, but I've really pushed in on the studying in the last month or so. And I've noticed that now Korean words will come up for me in the same way as like English words. I also speak Spanish. So when I look at something, like I'm looking at a car, then like the Korean word for car comes up, the Spanish word for car comes up, and of course most prominently the English word for car comes up. And that's something that's really cool because it means I'm really learning this language. But what really spurred this video is that I started having dreams in Korean. Not very complicated Korean by any means, but just like the amount of Korean that I do know, I started having dreams in Korean. And then I remembered that this same phenomenon happened to me years ago when I was in college and I was learning organic chemistry. So organic chemistry is like a notoriously difficult class to take when you are a science major. I have a degree in biology. So I got a C+ on the first test and I was so sad. So I was like, I really need to study hard so I can make up for it on the next test. And it was really hard to learn. Like organic chemistry is a hard thing to wrap your mind around when you've been, just learning like high school science and just like regular biology. But I studied so hard. I studied on my own. I had study groups. I went to office hours. I was just going really hard. And it got so crazy that like, of course, whenever I like smelled something, I was like, oh my gosh, I know why I can smell this thing. I know what molecules are hitting the receptors in my nose to create this sensation of smell for me. Or like drinking something and just simply like how molecules interacted with like my digestive system. I started thinking about those things every time I was doing anything in my daily life. And what really was the nail in the coffin is that I started having dreams about organic chemistry. It was so bad that my roommate, my best friend, she would like wake me up to tell me she was leaving the dorm or going to the store or something. And I would like wake up all sleepy and just start talking to her about organic chemistry, trying to explain something to her about organic chemistry. So then it hit me. I was studying so much that my subconscious was starting to repeat and go over things and try to pick things apart for me. Like I would just be enjoying my food and all of a sudden organic chemistry. I'm just peacefully trying to sleep and all of a sudden organic chemistry, or all of a sudden Korean, you know what I mean? So I came to the conclusion that in order for us to get really deep into our subconscious, to create a shift and cultivate a new mindset, we have to study it. So what does this mean? What does this mean in like a practical sense? Effective studying happens in different environments at different times. So this means you'll want to read and think about your affirmations anytime you enter a new environment until you're doing it automatically. For example, if you're trying to grow your self-esteem, you might say something like, I am beautiful, and reaffirm to yourself that I am beautiful. But you're gonna wanna do it when you wake up, you're gonna wanna do it when you get into the shower, when you go to the kitchen to make breakfast, in the car on the way to work, when you're at work, when you come home from work, and right before you go to sleep. I know that a lot of people say to do it right when you wake up and right when you go to sleep, and that's a great place to start. But if you're really trying to shift, you wanna make it so that your brain has to form new memories while still repeating the same concept. So a bunch of memories all of a sudden are associated with this new phrase or this new belief. So that way your brain has a bunch of new things to attach this same concept to, which brings it to the attention of your subconscious in a way more effective way. Great studying also comes from practice. This one might be a little bit difficult because it requires a fair amount of self-awareness, being able to be aware and have some distance from your thoughts. You'll have to catch yourself when you're having thoughts that reflect a belief system that you're trying to move away from, and actively respond to yourself with thoughts that stem from a belief system you're trying to move into. For example, you have to catch yourself when you look in the mirror and automatically think, I wish I were prettier, or something along those lines. And as fast as you can, as soon as it occurs to you, maybe it's 2 seconds after that statement, or maybe it's 10 minutes later, you have to say to yourself in response, actually, that's not true. I believe I'm beautiful, so I don't have to wish I were prettier. I'm the prettiest. Consciously putting your new belief system into practice as your old one comes up signals to your subconscious that it should do that automatically when something from your old belief system comes up, until your new belief system is fully integrated as your default way of thinking. Lastly, effective studying comes from understanding, true understanding. I remember reading about a study one time done by researcher and psychologist Mark McDaniel and a team of other researchers, where they gave people a string of facts to remember, a string of statements, such as the hungry man got into the car, the brave man ran into the house, the strong man helped the woman, and so on. The people had trouble remembering just the statements alone, but when they were given an explanation as to why the hypothetical aforementioned men did what they did, their memory increased significantly. When you seek to understand why you're creating the belief system you're creating, why you believe the things that you believe, then it becomes easier to make the connections required for true learning and integration, because your brain will use what you already know to help make sense of the new things, so you're making those connections automatically, as opposed to simply piling on the old belief system that you have about yourself, about others, and about the world around you. You start to remember it and integrate it more because it makes sense, and your old belief system will stop making sense to you, and so it makes it easier for it to fall away. For example, maybe you have an affirmation that's something along the lines of, I am beautiful because I say I am, and my opinion of myself will always outweigh the opinions that others have of me. So you're saying this affirmation and repeating it, and when you catch yourself saying, I wish I was prettier, then you can ask yourself, why? Why don't you think you're pretty enough? And in response, you might say something like, well, because I don't look like this person or that person, or because I don't have this type of feature or that. And then you can respond to yourself, well, who decided those are the prettiest features? And then of course, the answer has to be other people. But remember, when it comes to me and my beauty, the affirmation is, I am beautiful because I say I am, and my opinion of myself will always outweigh the opinions of other people. So therefore, other people don't matter in this situation. Therefore, you're already the prettiest because you say you are, because you're beautiful. It helps you understand why you're even thinking the way that you do, and it helps you challenge and dissect that so that you can integrate healthier beliefs about yourself because they make more sense. Why would it matter what other people think of you, right? It only matters what you think of you. And if you think you're the prettiest, then you are. You're pretty, you're beautiful, the end, period. It helps you understand why your old belief system doesn't make sense for a person who is more loving, more compassionate, more abundant, more positive, more confident. Your healthy belief system makes a lot more sense. Well, I hope you're able to integrate these methods into your daily life, or maybe even take like a full plunge and study your affirmations as if you were studying for a test, and maybe start dreaming about it like I do when I study something super hard. But either way, I know that you'll be successful in creating a healthier approach to life for yourself. Again, I'm Amber Jay. You can find me over on Instagram at amberjaylightstheway for daily astrology, or you can find me on my personal Instagram, which is amberc, like cat, Jay. You can also follow my blog on my website. It's ambercjay.com, or you can follow me for more writing and more words over at Medium. So it's medium.com/@ambercjay. Yes, the @ symbol ambercjay. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.